Whether it's a lager or an ale, whether it's a stout, light, dark, or pale. If you can brew it, Chad can review it. It's time for Chad's Beer Reviews. He's not quite an amateur, not quite a connoisseur, but regardless of the brewer, he's got taste in beer for sure.
You can tell just by his gut, this guy is a bona fide beer nut.
So whether it's a porter or an IPA, whether it's from Europe or the USA, if you can brew it, Chad can review it. It's time for Chad's Beer Reviews.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to another episode of Chad's Beer Reviews, coming to you live on chadsbeerreviews.com or tape, whatever. Anyways, we got a really special beer tonight. Mostly because Chris Stelz at Beer Geek Nation said this was the best beer he had last year. And this is the Avery Brewing Company out of Boulder, Colorado's the Maharaja Imperial India Pale Ale. Supremely limited, batch number 14, June 2011. So it's fairly fresh. It says, it's a long description, I'm not going to read it, so... but it's a pretty big beer. It's 102 IBUs and 10.46% ABV. So it's such a strange number. I peeled off some of the foil on the so you can see the cap, and we can get right to cracking here. Going to use the dollar store tulip glass. That's very dark. I thought it was going to be a little bit lighter than that. No, it's darker on camera than real life, but yeah, that's very dark. It's dark orange. I mean, I definitely wouldn't call it a brown, but it's pretty darn dark orange. Nice looking head on it. It's almost like yellow, straight up yellow. Not as yellow as my shirt, but like kind of that off-white yellow color. I can see some carbonation in there. Smells really good. It's, not quite West Coast style, not quite East Coast. It's kind of like actually it does kind of remind me of the Firestone Walker Double Jack or Trogue's Nugget Nectar. It's just straight up tropical fruits. Not so much citrus. I mean, it's more like mango, guava, passion fruit. Like citrus in there. Kind of like a candy kind of sweetness that the Stone IPAs tend to have. I mean, you can just tell how hoppy it's going to be just from the nose alone. So, let's get to drinking here. Cheers. It's a big beer. Yeah, just from the aroma and the flavor. This is very, very, very similar to the Firestone Walker Double Jack. I mean, it's just pure hop juice from beginning to end with that tropical fruit juice flavor in there too. It's almost actually more like tropical fruit juice, like syrup or something. It's interesting because it's so sweet and so rich, and yet at the same time it is so bitter. It's like a thick, sticky mouthfeel. It really interesting is like, for like that moment there when you get all the tropical fruit juice flavor at once, it's like, oh wow, that's really refreshing. But then the bitterness and the hops hit you at the same time, so like it's kind of, takes that all away. I'm surprised the hops aren't really lingering here. I think I'm only a couple swigs into it, so. Very, very smooth. Finish is fairly clean. Mouthfeel is nice. It's actually, kind of soft. It's definitely, full-bodied. Kind of a thicker, very, very thick for an IPA. It's Imperial, so it's to be expected, but, quite a thick beer. Aftertaste is like a little, slightly dry. It's actually more sticky and syrupy. So it's actually more like it's dry because it's so sweet rather than because it's so hoppy. 10.46% ABV. No heat, no warmth, no dry rubbing alcohol, flavor, sensation, or anything. So far, so good. So I'm going to take a break, sip on this some more. I still got quite a lot in the bottle here to kill. And we will be back with my final rating on the Maharaja. Some IPAs I tend to like to drink cold and just kind of get them out of the way, but some of the Imperial and double ones, as you drink, as they warm up, they actually do get better. And this one, I thought I had it pegged right at the beginning, but I really didn't. As I let it warm up a little bit more and just kind of let it develop a little, got a lot more complex, just the intense, rich sweetness, the juicy fruitiness of it, and the rich, like, sappy bitterness, like, just stayed consistent. What separates this from, like, the Firestone Walker is that it actually finishes a little more clean. It's not, like, quite as sickly sweet and, like, syrupy and sticky as that beer. Like I said, kind of finishes more clean. There definitely is kind of like a resiny kind of pine aftertaste, but it's very tolerable, very, very pleasing, actually. The palate is great. I love that, the juiciness, the hoppiness. I get almost like a tea kind of taste in here too. I really, really like this. I don't know why we can't get this in Albany. We can get like pretty much everything else Avery makes, but I'm glad I was able to find it when I was in New Jersey a couple weeks ago. So yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to give it up. I gotta go. This is getting my highest rating. A full 10 out of 10 for the Avery Maharaja Imperial IPA. It's a great, great beer. So thanks for watching this episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. Check out my website, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it, Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Reviews. Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.